All right,
Woo!
hello. Hi, thank you so much, everybody. Welcome back to. Oh, I forgot to mute myself on my phone again. Once again, good job, Monica. So, welcome to episode. I don't even know what this is. This is episode 7. This is
Seven?
episode 7.
7.
Oh, not that I've been waiting for 7 since I wrote this.
Oh
Wait,
no.
it might be
It's
eight.
episode 7 to Wish We Weren't Here. Our terrible, horrible, no good, very bad road trip to save reality. And my goodness, it has been kind of a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad road trip to save reality.
I want
We
to go
are
home.
people want to go home. We're 2 humans down, and we may or may not have just driven through an explosion in the very final seconds of last week's episode, which is where we will be picking up immediately as soon as all my players introduce themselves. So let's go ahead and I'm not even going to ask y'all a weird question this week. We're
Oh
just going to
no.
jump right in. Oh, yeah, no, no.
What
I'm
if I
not going
ask
to
you
try
a
to
weird
lull
question?
y'all into a false sense of security. I like the look on your faces right now. So let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's start with Rosie.
Hi, I'm Rosie, a TTRPG crafty and charity streamer here on Twitch. Today I'll be playing Melody Hersbook, a geologist who is scared out of her mind right now because she's the only one in a car alone. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm super excited for this session, and hopefully everything is fine.
All right, Leland.
All right. Um, if you had to serve a dinner party for a bunch of werewolves, Arnica, what would you serve?
You know what? Since you asked, I will answer. It would probably be a rack of lamb,
That's
medium
fair.
rare, with Brussels sprouts, a nice
Delicious.
gravy, none of that weird mint jelly shit. I've tried it. I'm unimpressed.
What the hell is a
Full
mint
on garlic.
jelly?
It
They put it on lamb. It's weird.
Yo, so there is a certain subsect of people who like
Irish
to
people.
put mint jelly with a rack of lamb, and I don't know why. It is not in any way made better by spreading jelly upon this meat. Half the time they've overcooked it, they've underseasoned it, the whole thing's sad, and they think jelly will be better. Chris, stop! 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 I hate you! Stop! Mm-mm. I would tell y'all what's happening in the background of my house, but just know it was worth that reaction.
Okay, I
Anyway,
believe.
stop putting jelly on lamb.
Yeah, stop it. I'm pretty sure. I just want to blame the Irish. I don't know why. Mainly because I went to an Irish restaurant and I saw someone eating that, and I was like, "All right, this is the Irish's fault." And I'm Irish. I can say that. Anyway, all right. I'm Leland / Leopold the Just on the internet. You can find me all over the place. I do meme stuff and TTRPG stuff and make jokes about fish knife. Apparently, I'm just kidding. I don't do that anymore. That was yesterday. Um, and I am super excited to play this game. I'm playing Topaz, the Stonekin, which is essentially a rock biter. I'm basing it very heavily off the rock biter from Neverending Story, and maybe a little bit of that Krog guy from the uh, from the
Marvel.
Marvel universe. Maybe a smidge of that. Yeah, no, I don't really have any. Yeah, I'm excited to be scared. Hopefully, I am a
Yeah,
rock
well,
guy now. Maybe I'm not scared of stuff anymore. So who knows?
Don't you just
bet.
screwed yourself over.
That was the point. I was baiting the GM.
I am so easily baited. Bet. All right. Hi, Knox. Let's go to you.
Hi, I'm already scared. So please don't. I'm not Leland. Okay, I know when not too scared. Just remember that our characters are in close proximity, but I'm not Leland. So hi
You
everyone,
are
I'm
on my
Knox.
sled. I forgot. I'm sorry.
I know. Thank you for screwing me over as well, because Pi hasn't been through enough. So I'm Nox. I play Pi Nakoni. She is an anxious tree lady who is done with everyone else's bullshit. And she's so done. Last episode, she snapped like a twig. Put it on the counter. Put it on the counter.
We are so shameless with our pun counter. It
We're gonna get
makes
to the
us so
root of
happy.
this.
Not sorry. Ding.
And I'm gonna be branching out into rock puns too.
Oh, just on a roll.
I'm just gonna let you handle that.
On a
You
rock
handle
and a
it.
roll.
Hey.
And here's the deal:
That only counts as one. That counts as one.
Topaz is not gonna understand the rock puns, which is gonna make it even funnier.
Oh, that's all Pi's gonna do.
Y'all are starting
Anyways,
strong
This
tonight.
cast truly is a gem.
It's because we're terrified.
Okay, you know what? Nox isn't allowed to talk anymore. Let's talk to Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Arnica.
Home.
Oh no. My name is Julie CL. I am playing Benny today, our grown-up lost boy, our grown-up Neverland pirate who helped save all of that situation, and now we're in a new one, and there is no peace, and there is no rest. And I'm so confused about that werewolf dinner question, Leland. I was trying to go through my head to like figure out if there were jokes there. I'm like, serve a silver platter. I don't know. I was like trying to like figure
That's
out what
just
the
rude.
joke was, and I had none. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to eat you. Who knows? That's me.
They're friendly werewolves.
Oh, cool. But
You
yeah,
need to
rack a
expand
lamb.
you need to broaden your horizons of urban fantasy media.
I guess I do. I'll get them the lamb. A lamb for all my friends.
That's awesome. All right, and
So
cheers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Y'all are starting strong tonight. Hi, I'm Shears. Blood Thread Shears for long. My pronouns are they, them. I play Melanie Elena Kurt, pronoun she, her. And I'm going to ask a question for Arnica as well.
I guess it's turn the tables on the GM night. You know what? Y'all get your licks while you can. Go ahead. What's your question?
We all know Amazon has some questionable romance titles. What is the most what the fuck
I've read
title
some.
you've ever seen? And did you read it?
So, watch this. I'm gonna top that. The most what the fuck title so far is on the day that the 4,000 word Twitter expansion drops. I will be filling the entire thing, and I have already named it. It will be called "Oh No, Elno's Hell Show Presents an ABO 4,000 Porntacular Masterpiece." And I'm just going to write 4,000 words of the filthiest. Just why is this on main? Like, I expect at least 200 people to unfollow me immediately. ABO porn and drop it right on main. Boom.
Oh, that's tame.
Oh, you think so? Not that I can't. I'm done.
Love you, Arnica.
Okay, Knox, if I don't do that, will you stay?
I'm gonna stay either way.
Okay, because I'm going to do it either way, but I figured I would offer you a bribe. So,
I'm gonna stay either way. I was thinking I'm very too much asexual for this.
Lord, I apologize.
But I'm
y'all.
also okay with this. I read Kissing the
So,
Coronavirus. It's fine.
you're good. Are we ready? Of course, we're ready.
No.
Let's go ahead and get started. So, the last time we saw everybody, it was a totally normal 3 seconds right before they looked to their left and they met Milo's eyes. And Milo blew up. The whole fucking toll booth blew up. Now, this thing is fortified. Milo had locked it down. So the good news is that you guys are not immediately wiped out, but there is debris and it is flying fast and hard. So I'm going to need every single one of y'all. You thought just the drivers. No, watch this. Right now I need every single one of y'all to roll me a let's go ahead and roll a body please for your reaction.
So happy to be a tree.
Oh, my
Now
body's not a
drivers,
one anymore.
drivers, I want you to go ahead and if you had an extra dice, go ahead and throw that extra dice for your speed. Jeep does not, dune buggy does, sedan does.
Okay.
What did we need to not die?
All right. Let me start with drivers. What'd you roll? Let's start with Melody.
A 2, a 3, and a 5.
All right. So, Melody, the good news that that 5 is good. That 5 is good. Shears, what'd you roll?
Remind me again of what I needed to roll.
Oh no, you tell me what you rolled.
Oh no.
No, roll yet. I was pulling up my form.
I
Body.
need you to roll your body score, and then you don't have an extra dice because you have the Jeep.
Yes.
So just your body score.
Smoke if we
This is
got
a
him.
one, I bet.
It's a 2.
Don't feel bad.
Woo!
Oh no.
Hey,
A
Benny,
two
how you
does
looking?
not do
Already?
it. Benny, you however are in the car with Shears. What did you roll?
Maybe something can be done because I rolled a 3, 2 4s, and a 6.
Woo! All right. We're gonna start with y'all. Let me just check with Leland real quick. Leland, what'd you roll?
2 1s and 2 4s.
Oh.
Who? Knox, what did you roll?
3, 4, 5.
Here's how this is going to happen. We are going to start in car 1. We're going to start with Melody and then jump to Benny. We are going to go to car 3 with Leland and Knox, and then we're going to go to car 2 with Melody. Are y'all ready? This is about to be wild. Here's what happens.
As will ever
As,
be.
Scared.
as the debris scatters across the highway, it is flaming, it's hot. You feel the rush of air from the explosion buffer the sides of your vehicles. Um, Melanie, you you don't lose complete control of your vehicle, but a large piece of debris hits it. You are, I'm real glad you were buckled because you do not get seriously injured, but you are knocked into the side of the door. You hit your head, you are dazed, and you do not see the very large piece of debris lying on the road in front of you. Benny, however, from the back seat does. Benny, what do you do?
Uh, Brace myself against the impact. I've been in all sorts of sea battles. I've seen explosions. I've seen cannonballs. My reflexes are quick. I see that Melanie's hurt, and I'm concerned. But before I get a chance to say anything, I see that there's more ahead of us. So I'm going to reach over to the wheel and turn as hard as I can.
Okay. So Benny leans forward, grabs the wheel, successfully whips the Jeep out of the way of this large piece of debris. That's all great news. Um, and because Benny is an experienced sailor, he very quickly understands the weight of the vehicle, counter corrects. You are leaning over Melanie. You've got her bracketed in. You are she's got her feet on the gas. You got your hands on the wheel. Between the two of you, you successfully navigate through this debris field. Okay. Car 3.
No, why are you doing that? No, it's all his fault. I did nothing wrong.
Oh, Oh, it's about to be a fault. Because here's the problem. Card three, you rolled not one, but two ones. And the problem with a one is that it is a critical hit. And what you have suffered is a
I did roll
failure
two
of
ones. That was it.
you suffered a failure of imagination. You just you never met
Oh.
Milo. You don't quite understand what's going on. You barely know these people. There's no real bond to you, to this mission, to anything other than you are a good, loyal pirate doing as your new captain has commanded. But just you you know that this is, even for reverie standards, this is ridiculous. And in that moment, underneath you, the vehicle shudders, and I kid you not, turns back to cardboard. And the two of you are launched out of nothing. So now we got a large rock and a large tree going sans vehicle at about
Timber.
65 miles an hour. The good news is that in front of them is a dune buggy. And a dune buggy does have a lot of exposed roll cage stuff.
Certainly
Now,
does.
Knox, does Pi happen to have a move that would let you grab onto a fast moving vehicle? Because
Oh
if you do,
God.
now's the time to roll and use that.
Oh, she does it.
Okay.
I have something I can do though.
All right. So here's what I'm going to say then. I'm going to say that for your three, for your, for your, you had a five, you said, Knox, right? You had a
Yeah,
three,
I
four,
did.
and a five? Okay, your five is a success. So here is what I'm going to say your success does for you. You are able to lash out with your branches, and you manage to snag hold of both Topaz and the Dune buggy. Um, Topaz, I'm real glad you're made of rocks, buddy, because you hit the pavement.
Well, that was what I was gonna say. If I just stand still, I don't take any conditions. So I was gonna just like just harden up.
Boom. Perfect. So now we have y'all ever seen those videos from the 1950s of the water skiers on the lake with their little speedboats? Because that's what we
And
have
their
right now.
speedos.
We have a tree clinging to a giant rock. Imagine imagine Groot is piggybacking Korg while space surfing on the back of the Milano, and you have a pretty accurate image of what's happening here. Disney, don't sue me.
I need you all to know that before stream, I said, "Oh God, I'm in the same car as Leland."
Don't roll always so hot. Don't roll always.
Oh no.
I
To
literally
be
was like,
fair,
"Can
you
I
roll
trade
better than I
cars?"
do, so that's something.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I had more dice to work with. More dice.
Uh,
Mm, maybe that balances
we,
Pi
out.
just starts going with Melody forever.
so the good news is there you go. You two did not die. The car is gone, but you two did not die. The bad news is you are now stuck aboard the back of a giant, stone statue of a man who's just planking it. He's just frozen in what the fuck is this? Uh, and Melody, my good friend. So here is here's what happened to you. You managed to dodge the debris. None of it comes through the window and hits you. You very successfully avoid all this flaming stuff, the glass. Uh, you managed to not get hit, but it's the impact of that sudden weight on the back of your fucking car that just jerks you. Your head snaps back. It hits the headrest. It's not enough that you crash, but it is enough that you briefly you have to take your foot off the gas for
Mhm.
safety. So at this point, you guys have successfully made it, mostly successfully. You are down a vehicle, but no one died. So we're calling it good. You guys made it through the debris field. I would not slow down, however, because from behind, oh, y'all didn't think we were done. From behind you, there is a roar. It's not one
What?
vehicle, it's not a couple vehicles. There's a lot of headlights that have showed up behind you. There are big things, there are bikes, there are trucks, and in front are two riders. At first, you think that they've got just a opaque, solid, nothing of a helmet. And then you realize that they don't. They just don't have faces. Uh, the terrible Trivium has signed on with the Void. He is acting as his scion. He has gathered all the demons of the mountains of ignorance. And you thought they rallied under him when Milo was a boy. Oh no. They've been promised destruction on a scale that none of them had ever dreamed. And all they have to do is one little task. They just got to catch you. I would go if I were you.
Melanie, like after like the swerve, is like, oh shit, 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 shit.
We gotta move. I make sure you're okay. If you start to get dizzy, fight it. Don't let yourself pass out. You might be concussed. I'll try to slow them down.
Can you magic?
I can magic.
Okay, okay, um, okay.
Just take it easy.
Ramming speed. Pedal to the floor.
All right. So the Jeep takes off as fast as it can, straight ahead. There is only a straight ahead. There's an army of motorized demons behind you, coming down on you like a Mad Max prequel. There's mountains and cliffs on every side, and ahead of you, you see the dark, arching curve of an enormous tunnel. It makes the tunnel to Wonderland look like just a little boop, just a little mouse hole in a wall. This thing is big enough to let several trains go side by side. There's lots of space except for the pylons that split it into lanes. This is where you guys are heading. There is no other way through.
I'm going to. I took my foot off the gas, so I'm going to immediately slam on my brakes and hope that is enough momentum to get the two of them into at least the back of the dune
No,
buggy.
this is right then, Pie slamming the thing. Like,
That's,
"Yep, speed up, speed up."
that's hilarious. Leland and Knox, roll me a body. Let me see what happens.
That's a 5 and a 6 and a one more. I have to roll one more. And a 5.
Nice.
Nice.
I got a 2, 3, and a 5.
Awesome. So here is how this works. This works amazingly. Like it's not with Nox, it is flawless. Pi flips off Topaz's shoulders, arches gracefully through the air like a little switch, just bendy and woo, boom, boom, right through the top, lands on her little barky butt, right in a seat. Great job.
Nicely done.
Topaz, we're 25 minutes in, y'all.
Oh, just be glad I didn't say what I was gonna say, which was Barky Bark and the Funky Bunch.
Now, Topaz, you are not quite as bendy as Pi.
No, no,
Um,
I'm rolled into a boulder. If I'm being honest, I'm in the fetal boulder position.
so as soon as the brakes hit and you went forward, you went, oh no, and you dropped out of your stone solid rock into, and you bouldered yourself like a little Goron, and you went boom, right into the top. And now you're you're not stuck. If you unroll, you can wiggle yourself in, but you will have to unroll. Otherwise, you are just a little bit kind of stuck, like a just
Can
Like a
Pi
cor-
try to help him,
I'm,
like, grab his
I'll
arm?
just remain stuck for safety.
Okay. You're
Even
That's
now
if
our
Pi
great.
doesn't
roof.
know that though, Pi could still be trying to help me, and I'm just like,
Pi's just gonna be like, come on, let's go.
no.
Melody, they in the car.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
I
just
got you.
cork.
Let's go.
Go,
Got
go,
the
Gonna,
go,
roof
gonna
go,
cork.
go, go.
slam the gas. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
You just hear
So
me mutter from my stone form. It's sorry about the roof.
There was no roof. You're fine. You're now a roof.
You are
use that roof. That's great. You guys head into this tunnel. Now, this tunnel is technically lit. You can see the sodium light, but but the light that they give off is both orange and purple. It flickers between the two of them in real unsteady ways. It makes the pylon seem to move around you, or maybe they are moving. And behind you, as the begin to fill this tunnel, they wash things out. There are shadows moving in the wrong ways, and you can see that there are holes in the sides of the tunnels. You are not safe from the side either. How do you want to proceed?
Melanie, do
yeah, that.
we do we maybe try and dip out the side of this thing? Try and lose them that way?
I don't know, but we need to get out of here, and we need them distracted. Uh,
All right.
uh, uh,
These guys seem like proficient riders. I think we might have to split them up. It might be easier to handle them that way.
okay. Uh,
Okay,
I
so it's okay. You hang on. I'm going to try something. If it works, you veer off to the right. Down
okay.
that hole, the nearest one that we can find.
All right. And Melanie's gonna actually start humming like the opening riffs to "Raining Blood" by Slayer, and just to calm herself down. Yes, she uses metal to relax. It's very relaxing.
The supernatural.
Sorry.
So
Amazing.
she's just like hearing it in her internal jukebox, and checks like the dashboard. She knows this model of Jeep. It's got a Hemi in it, so she's gonna try and put pedal to the metal as quickly as possible, and just imagine as like the as you hear like the um to make it go fast.
And while Melanie's zooming, picking up speed, there's a minor magic that can be used to create darkness. I don't think that's really in character for Benny, but I'd love if I could instead create mist, like you might get um, uh, pulling into like a foggy harbor to try and obscure their vision just for long enough to disguise that we might have dipped off to the side.
All right, go ahead and roll your heart, and you know what?
All right.
This is fairly easy for you because you are so familiar with Mist Off the Sea. You only need a 4 to hit that.
Okay. I pull my hook sword back. Magical energy starts to gather around it. 2 4s and a 5. I swing it, and there's a burst of mist behind us, hopefully allowing Melanie to ditch the pursuers.
Okay. It does. This mist is a thick wall. It smells fresh. You did not realize how terrible this tunnel smelled. Like your noses are filled with a whole bunch of real bad smells right now. None of them are great, and somehow you could still the stench of this tunnel was making its way through. But this mist manages to clear its way through your clears up your sinuses, touches your skin. It also completely obscures the tunnel. It completely obscures the tunnel. So the good news is that the Jeep makes the right hand turn. The bad news is that the dune buggy does not see the Jeep make the right hand turn. Melody, you are now driving in an obscenely thick fog. Um, you are going to have to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to continue trying to maintain this speed with this obscured vision? Do you dare try to slow down with those things behind you? What the hell are you gonna do? This was this was almost a good plan by your friends.
I was just thinking, aren't we behind you?
Yeah, we're right
The-
behind you.
My brains are two. I'm just doing shit.
So Melody's gonna see this mist appear. Go, okay, that's probably the void playing tricks on us. So let's just go through it, get out of it as fast as we can. She's just gonna try to power through in as straight a line as she can muster, as fast as
Okay,
she can.
as fast as you can. So
Oh
I'm
no.
going.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
Say
Don't like it.
say
Don't
as
like it.
fast as you safely can. Say add the word
As
safely. Go
No.
back.
safely. Can Pi
This is
say
what
go
I
happens
back?
when
mean,
we don't read the
I
fine
I
print.
would not I would not try to go as fast as you safely. I would most certainly try to go faster than you safely can because the demons behind you are not at all concerned with their safety. The
Got it. That's
terrible
fair.
trivium does not care how many of them he drives to their death so long as he catches y'all. He will leave 1,000 demons dead behind him on that road. Gives no fucks. All right. So, why don't you go ahead and throw for me? You know what? Look, you convince me to let me throw your highest score. What's your highest score? Convince me.
Mind.
That seems
Okay.
doable.
Convince me to let you throw with mine. How
All
how do
right.
you use your mind to do this?
Melody, being a geologist, going out to dig sites all the time, has definitely had her fair share of inclement weather, and through all of that, she has fought to get to a particularly unstable site or to get somewhere that might be gone the next day. So, as far as driving with urgency, she has had experience through inclement weather, through tough driving conditions up and down mountains, through tunnels that go through those mountains, and all that will come back to her and hopefully guide her through this nonsense.
That's awesome. I mean, I would have taken my hand-eye coordination's excellent, but that's way better. Go ahead and roll with mine.
All right, let's go. Oh my god, two sixes and a five.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
Woo!
that is so
So why
badass.
don't you tell me
No,
in your
he drives
so
me
here's
out.
the good news. The good news is that you are going to make it out of this tunnel in an
Whew.
exceedingly dramatic fashion. The bad news is that it will most certainly gain the attention of the void. So go
Okay,
ahead
good.
and mark a shadow, but
Fun.
also tell me in any spectacular Final Fantasy VII fucking Cloud fighting them Sephiroth clones in the tunnel. Go ahead and tell me how this works for you.
All right, so driving through this mist is not going away. It is dark, it is scary, and she has to protect the two friends that are now in her car. So she's like, okay, I lava bended. Let's see if I can airbend. And she's going to will it within herself to make this mist go away.
You
While
willed
also,
yourself into the avatar?
yeah, let's go.
I love this.
And that's absolutely not what happens, but she is using the senses that she's acquired through driving in terrible, terrible conditions. She is listening for those pylons on either side of her. She is smelling for the nastiness that she smelled before that is decidedly not the mist, and is using all those senses that aren't necessarily her eyes to get out of this situation.
Fantastic. So, Topaz, you really don't see too much. You're, you are hedgehogged. You are just pill bugged into the top of the vehicle. But Pi, you see everything that's happening. You see just the focused, laser like precision of Melody, the way that she is just on this. The dune buggy is whipping just out of nowhere. You keep seeing the shadows of pylons coming right against the side of the vehicle, less than a foot away here, there. Occasionally, you guys will squeeze right between a real narrow pair of them, but not once does this vehicle so much as scratch the paint. You can hear every so often there's a flash in the fog behind you as one of the vehicles does not make the turns that Melody makes, cannot get in and out with the same precision. They are dropping behind you, um, but not all of them. The headlights are starting to close in. Not all of them, but the most dangerous ones. The bikes are keeping pace. The terrible Trivium himself is at the lead. It's starting to close in, and right as you think that you cannot make one more amazing fucking avatar ninja turn, good or bad, you happen to see, you don't know how he did it. You don't know if he did it before they caught him. You don't know how he managed to hide it. But Milo turned on one last on ramp. And the on ramp to the ruins of wisdom is available. And you very quickly,
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
you whip that shit. Your vehicle actually spins in the road for a full rotation before you manage to reorient it in the correct way, and you take that on ramp so fast that you come up onto two wheels. It is only the slightly lopsided weight of Topaz, who landed just a bit too far to the left, that keeps your vehicle from tipping. He, in fact, counterweights you so that you take this entire sharp on ramp on two wheels, and as you are going down it, it is disappearing behind you.
I
Your
don't like
vehicle.
this.
Oh,
I
it's
don't need it.
good.
It's the only way out.
You don't got out the tunnel and everything. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're great. You saved the house. Shit.
No, Pi doesn't like this. Pi's like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Keep doing what you're
I
doing.
know it's
don't
scary. I
like
know that
this.
you're meant to be rooted somewhere, and this is the opposite of being rooted somewhere, but we are getting out of here.
Okay, ground yourself, Pi. Ground yourself. Okay.
Um, and the wheels of your dune buggy thump onto the ground as the on ramp, with just a few inches to spare before it hits the actual road, vanishes from out from underneath you. The dune buggy jolts, it shudders, and you find yourself at the base of, it looks like it was once a very tall, beautiful rolling hill, before the mountains broke through it. Um, they have pierced the grass, they have churned it up, and you can see that this was a market day. There was a lot of business happening. It was obviously a very busy place before the mountains came through and ruined it.
Melody's gonna slow down, seeing that there's nothing following them. Take some really big, deep breaths. Okay, you all right? Are you okay up there? Do you want to come down into the cabin?
Is everything safe?
I think so now.
Okay. And then at this point, this is when um, Topaz opens his eyes to see all of the mountains everywhere. Um, are they rough stone or smooth stone?
Um, they are they are a very smooth stone. They are not quite volcanically smooth,
Yeah.
but they are almost greasy.
Well, I
You do
can't talk to
not
them.
feel you do not feel a kinship with these mountains.
Got it. Okay. I was gonna say pull over and then we have a word with them, but yeah, I don't speak smooth. I only speak rough. um,
I need that
so
on
yeah,
a
I'm just gonna
shirt.
try to settle into the back without breaking any twigs and without ripping any seatbelt buckles or crushing any seatbelt buckles. I mean,
You are just You are so sweet. Look at you being so careful of this car. You know what? That's nice. This car is saving your ass. It is nice to be respectful of it. Good for y'all.
My
It's a
head's
big
probably sticking out of the
contrast
top
too.
though, by the way, because I'm like
Your
9
head
foot
is
tall.
absolutely just sticking out of top. Your head and part of your shoulders. You're just like, yeah, I guess.
It's a big
I'm like in a little
contrast to
Barbie
being in the
car.
car of Melanie,
Ugh.
where there was just a dog gnawing on a sapling, and it's like, oh, somebody's actually being careful around the tree.
Oh, I'm definitely petting the dog, but very, very
The
gentle for a
dog
rock
is the
The
person.
dog's
dog
not with
is
us.
with the
Yes.
Oh
dog's in the
no.
Jeep.
Well, dang it.
You think you see a dog.
It's just Pie,
Oh,
just
petting
very
Pie's.
embarrassed. Like, I'm not the dog.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay. Can I get out of the car now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's. I think we're
Bust
safe
the
now,
door
so I'm gonna
open.
slow down as we approach this sort of settlement, these ruins. I'm shaken and I'm not happy with what just transpired, and I notice that the other car's not here.
Pie doesn't. She just busts the door open and runs out and just like, I hate these things.
Oh, I know, and it's starting not to play fair. Not that I ever expected it to.
You did a good job though. We're alive.
Yeah.
I'm
See that, you
just
ink stain? You're in
Don't
our
taunt it.
story.
Don't
We're the
don't
authors here, not you.
don't taunt it. Please don't taunt it. I had to live with that thing. Please don't taunt it.
I'm 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 just pissed. I'm sorry.
Please don't taunt it. Please don't.
Ugh.
Pie is right. It's not a good idea.
I do suppose you have been here longer than me. You would know better. Listen to the rock
Yes.
and the tree. I do listen to the rocks and trees a lot. A lot of my best friends are rocks and trees. This shouldn't be any different.
I
The
gather that
void
we're
should, the void should be avoided at all costs.
I like that idea.
Okay, how do
But
we go about doing that then?
not doing stuff like that.
Okay. Fine.
Your driving was quite terrifying, but
Thank
I am
you.
glad it was not a boat.
I'm not sure
I
how well a
hate
boat would have done.
I hate boats.
You're aren't you a pirate?
Unfortunately, I'm actually afraid of the ocean because of how bad I sink.
Oh, we found out I float.
See, you're perfect for each other.
Aren't you lucky?
So, where's everyone else?
I have no idea. Um, I'm assuming they got lost in that mist.
Yeah, that was sudden.
It smelled nice though.
It did smell nice.
Yeah.
Not as nice as pine's leaves.
I suppose so. All right. Well, that looks like it might be something. Just full on ace blinders.
I
Yeah.
smelled pine's leaves while I was driving my sled, but then it
Oh,
turned into paper.
it did, didn't it?
Yes, it took me ages to build that sled.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank
We're
you.
driving from now on because that was terrifying. But we did. But we didn't die.
We didn't
So
die.
I'm sorry. I did not want to go with you. I regret that.
No, it's fine. I know that you have a little bit of. You've had some rough starts with humans. I'm a human, and I hope to change your opinion of that eventually. But totally understandable.
That's fair. That's fair. We really should figure out where we are, though, huh?
Yeah. Let's go exploring a little bit.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Is there a fragment of the mountain around?
Um, there are. So what you guys see as you turn away from each other and really kind of look at what's in front of you is that this hill, which has been busted up by the mountains, is really kind of divided into three layers at this point. On the middle layer, there is the remains of what was a very large and bustling market on the day that this all happened. At the bottom, there are a couple. I mean, they are really kind of leveled houses. They are mostly reduced to rubble, but a lot of that rubble is stone of some kind. Some of it is rough, some of it is brick. You may be able to talk to the rubble of the houses. And at the top, there there is most of a castle. It's a humble castle. It's not particularly ostentatious. You can tell that it started its life as a fortress, um, but more of a, you know, I'm looking to protect and value what's inside fortress as opposed to a this is where I launch my wars fortress. You can tell,
Gotcha.
you can just feel the difference in it. Um, and it is mostly still standing. There's an east tower that's primarily whole and a west tower that's primarily whole, although the majority of the front walls have been blown out. That is what you guys see, and that is the area that the three of you can explore. While the three of you are exploring, let's check in with Car One. So,
Shit, 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 shit.
Uh, all right. So we pulled out, right?
mm,
Okay.
all right. So, you guys managed to whip into that tunnel. That was the great news. The bad news is you managed to forget until the last second that this that when that this would work really really well, and if it worked really well, then the car behind you, and you don't think about it. I mean, in Benny's defense, the fucks he know about cars? He's doing fantastically, like to have gotten as far as he did. And everybody's a little bit distracted. I don't blame y'all that you did not realize this until you see Melody's headlights in the rear view zoom past your turnoff. And all those things follow her, and none of them follow you.
Oh, they went past us. Do we have a flag we can hold up so they can find their way back to us?
Wait, what?
They're going that way, very fast.
Um, uh,
Do we have a choice now? Do we pincer attack those riders from behind, or do we try to go around and meet up with them at the end? I don't have a captain right now. I'm kind of just doing things.
um, I, and she starts like to fade a little bit. Uh, I,
I grab her by the shoulders. Hey, it's
ah,
okay. It's okay. If you can't think about it right now, that's okay. You take the back, I'll drive.
talk. I, uh,
Talk
uh,
the dog.
yeah, Benny, uh, and she's like trying to like hold on by a thread, but she's starting to like fade a little bit from like the hit.
Shoot.
Um,
Um, Talk sees you starting to go down, and he had slumped down to his seat. He had been hiding his face under his paws, but there's too much going on right now. And he is above all things a good boy. And good boys know when it's time to get business done and when it's time to sit and be sad. And right now there's a human who needs help. Um, he kind of he gets his head up under you. He's kind of propping you up. Um, he's just kind of he's trying. His cold wet nose is right there, trying to just keep you awake long enough for you to pull over, do something. Don't know. What are you going to do?
I don't. What do we see ahead of us?
Ahead of you, what you see is that this tunnel is not smooth and polished and finished like the tunnel you just left. There is barely There is no road. There's barely anything that you would recognize as solid ground. It looks like it has been clawed out by something about the size of that tunnel. If earthworms were covered in clawed hands and all those clawed hands dug the walls free, that's what dug this tunnel.
Charming. Um, Benny, I need you to do the decisions.
It's okay. Get in back. I'm gonna drive. We're gonna go. We're gonna go around. We're not gonna go through the tunnel. Sometimes part of being a crew is trusting your crewmates to hold it together, to meet you on the other side. Um, that one makes it go. Pointing at the pedal.
Uh, yeah, okay. And she
All right.
pulls over really quick. Doesn't turn on the hazards. Um, you're welcome.
Look at that. It only took 7 episodes for you guys to stop turning on your hazards in a time of emergency.
Oh, just you
Just
wait.
wait.
Yeah, I
I
had to say something. Anyways, she like motions Benny out of the car to like quick question. Is this a stick or a automatic?
you know what? This is your vehicle. You can tell me if it's a stick or an automatic. Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Fair enough. For and she points to the gas, accelerate, brake. Uh, she immediately switches to like nautical terms. Uh, 3 sheets, weigh anchor, right steer, and she points to the wheel, right, left, and she points to the emergency brake, hard anchor.
Easy.
Oh, don't use it. Don't use the e-brake unless you absolutely have to.
All right. That's the last resort. You know a lot about ships. I'm surprised.
I when I after I was found like my I did therapy. Part of the therapy was a thing for nautical stuff like boats. Um I live on an island, so a lot of boats, and I had friends who had families who would go boating from time to time. I always loved sailboats, and whenever I could do it, I and she starts to like fade a little bit. Uh,
Hang in there. Come on. What about the sailboats? What about the sailboats?
I I just remember feeling happy. It salt wind, even smell of low tide when it's atrocious. It made me happy. And she like nods off a little bit again.
Okay, here. I've got a very important job for you. You're going to sit in this seat. He points to the passenger seat. You're going to co-pilot. Your only job, one sentence at a time, keep talking. Don't stop.
Oh,
That's your only job. Sit there, keep talking to me. I'll get us to them.
okay. And like she tries to like get out of the car to like go to the passenger. And if anyone's ever been in a car accident and get knocked to the noodle noggin, it's not fun. This is the piloting system. When the piloting system don't work, everything else is marionette. I'm saying this as diplomatically as possible. So she like tries to get up and like kind of slumps a bit and like grabs the oh shit bar as best as she can. and tries to like walk and like hold on to like the car itself uh as her cane basically because she don't remember right now where her cane is, and she's just like, okay, 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 and like tries to like get into like tries to open the door. Okay,
Help her in as much as she needs,
thank you.
and
And like tries
then
to reach for the seatbelt and like by some miracle buckles in and then
uh,
holds on to the oh shit bar.
I follow her example minus the oh shit bar. And then if there is a way to try and get around the tunnel, I will do it. If not, I'm going to very slowly go back through the tunnel, but that is a last resort. I'm going to try to go around to get to the end of it.
Okay. Not a problem. So here is what's going on there. Uh, it is possible to go ahead and go forward. Um, I I would not recommend going back except as an absolute last resort, as you said. So as you begin to creep the car forward, the headlights barely cut through the gloom. They are really doing more to emphasize how dark it is than anything else. Um, Melanie is would be familiar with this particular kind of darkness. She has been through this trick of the void before. But talk is really kind of focused on just, keeping her calm and letting the tick, 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 tick counter beating with the pumping of his heart, just kind of soothe and ground her. So, Benny, it's really just you driving through this darkness that you can feel watching you. It is very much a presence in the tunnel with you, around you.
Ooh, well, I don't like that. I'm going to just take a deep breath, and as I'm kind of cruising along, taking slow, I just clutch my mother's necklace for a little bit of extra encouragement and keep going, keep trucking on. Don't lose sight of the destination. It's like when you're driving a big ship. First, you get to the destination safely, you can worry about the other stuff later.
Okay.
And I'm trying not to be conspicuous. So, not talking in beyond a hushed voice, responding to Melanie if she's still speaking.
She is.
Okay. And keep going straight ahead. As long as everything is working, I'm going.
All right. So it is the void is present with you, but in a way that really makes it obvious that you are not its primary concern right now. It's more just keeping an eye on you. It's busy elsewhere. So, you guys, man, you hold your cool. You manage to make it all the way through this tunnel, right as you start to think that there's really no way you're getting out and that you're going to have to risk turning around and going back. You see that there's a crack in the wall, and the light coming through it is like you're familiar with neon light because Plain City loved themselves some neon light. But like the neon light in Plain City was bright. They were well taken care of. These are dirty, guttural, flickering lights. They have the same worn out sodium tinge to them that everything else that the tunnel lights had. And there's a crack just big enough. It shouldn't be big enough. It doesn't look big enough, but it's big enough for the Jeep to get through.
I follow it. It seems like a sign.
Okay. As you start to turn your vehicle towards this crack that you know is not big enough, except the road is familiar. You are also catching the last echo of that last on ramp that Milo turned on. His very last thing he could do for any of y'all. This on ramp is pushing through, it's making a metaphysical space through this wall. Um, it is burning itself up quickly to do so. You just barely have enough time to squeak the Jeep through that chasm before it snaps shut behind you. The mountains are solid, and then the mountains are gone, and you find yourself at the edge of an overpass. It is heavily graffitied in all sorts of bright neons. It has all sorts of stylistic, extra cute characters with very, very depressing looking features. And lots of words everywhere, words that make sense, words that don't make sense, half finished sentences, quotes that are really incorrectly attributed. Just everywhere you look, words are layered on top of each other on every single space you can find. Spray paint, marker, pencil, they've been scratched in, and there's a line of people snaking its way out from under this dirty overpass where they're waiting to cross through into the city proper.
What the?
What is this?
I was hoping you would know. A little more familiarity with, anything. But it doesn't change where we need to go. We need to find the others.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you guys want to pull up in the vehicle or do you want to get out? Everyone else that you see is in line on foot.
I'm worried about Melanie, but I think the idea that you could stay in a car and kind of move along gradually doesn't really occur to Benny as someone who is very new to them. Um, so I think maybe okay. It seems like we might have to get in this line. Melanie, you can stand with Talk and I as support, and maybe our friends are at the end.
Okay. And she looks in the back for her cane, the foldable one, and tries and reaches to grab it. Oh, she's feeling a little bit better now. She opens the door, flicks it, and the cane snaps into place, and goes to again open the door for Talk.
I got it. Don't worry. And I let
Thank
Talk
you.
out.
And
No
she looks
problem.
to, yeah, she looks to Benny and Talk, and just says, "Thank you."
course. We're in this together, all of us. We're crew.
Yeah.
We get in line.
Okay. So the good news is that this line is actually moving at a pretty solid clip. You are not standing around for hours. It's not long enough for anyone to start feeling sick or too dizzy. Between Benny kind of supporting you on this side and Talk giving you the whole full body, I got you, with his pony sized ass on your other side, like you are well supported. Um, and so the three of you fairly quickly managed to make it to the front of this overpass where you see that most of the lanes have been boarded up. They have been heavily fortified. They've got big, what you call them, big concrete dividers, uh, just stretched all the way out. They've got barricades in between them. Just an absolute assholery of no, no. Welcome to my choke point. And just one small, self important man, roughly as wide as he is tall, and I mean that very literally. He's about 2.5 feet wide, 2.5 feet tall, and he's sitting on top of his stool, vaguely square shaped, but also mostly human shaped, with his terrible little police officer cap on. Whatever. He's lucky he was in the story canonically, or his ass could go. Anyway, he sits there and he looks at y'all. He goes, like, he doesn't even say anything. He just goes,
We're going through.
He goes, nah, where's your reason?
Our reason, we're meeting our friends.
And he looks at you and he's holding out his hands. And he looks at you and he goes, okay, but where is it?
Where is our reason? I'm gonna look to Talk.
And the dog goes, not this fucking asshole again. And he
You're from a children's book.
and he turns around. He slips out from under your arm, Melanie, and he turns around and he drops the side of his clock, and you see a much younger Talk. He's mostly just a puppy, and a very young Milo, and they are standing next to a cockroach in wingtip spats. And a real obnoxious mosquito who's arguing with this cockroach in a fur coat and wingtip spats. And they are talking to this exact same square shaped man. And the square shaped man is badgering them. He holds them up for like half an hour, trying to convince them to give him a reason, a something, before he finally goes, hold on, I've probably got an excuse here you can borrow. Digs around until he pulls out a piece of paper that says, why not? And Talk flashes the 10 seconds of him holding a piece of paper that says, why not? And goes, stop asking cop questions. Same answer as last time. Now move. And he starts barking.
I love you, Talk.
Oh wow. I guess the bark is equivalent to the bite.
It must be. It is entirely possible that this particular cop has tangled with this particular dog before, because he most certainly unasses that stool expeditiously. We gonna go for the big words, you see, because here we are in King Azaz's kingdom. King Azaz the Unabridged. This used to be a much different kind of place. It wasn't so modern. It was almost picturesque, not quite as beautiful as it was when his sisters still were in charge of everything. When his sisters ruled wisdom and he just had to control with Dictionopolis, and his brother just had to deal with fucking Digitopolis, And the two of them had this. It was great. But their sisters have been gone forever at this point. No one is left in wisdom. Sweet Rhyme and Pure Reason are like no one even knows if they were around for the void to get. It's been that long since anyone's seen them. But the city has grown and it's adapted, it's modernized. And what you see are screens all over. They are, oh, I had hair in my mouth. They hang from billboards. The sides of buildings themselves have light up marquees. Now, imagine being trapped inside Twitter. Because what has happened, my friends, is you are essentially trapped inside Twitter. You think it's funny, but there's a problem. And the problem is the court of public opinion tends to hand down some real long sentences. And fighting words can mean something real different in Assassin's Kingdom. I know you can tell I was just freaking thrilled to do this section, can't you?
Welcome to Melanie's Hell.
I know. I was so stoked when you're like, I'm gonna be an author, and I'm like,
Welcome to Nox's.
you do that. So the two of you have found yourself in Dictionopolis. It stretches as far as the eye can see. There are words in every language that has ever existed on Earth, and a couple that definitely have not. Um, and there's graffiti everywhere. Some of it might be useful, most of it probably won't be. Some of it will just be, what did the video game discourse this week call it? Uh, they called it, they were talking, oh, they were being hateful, talking about it being bad flavor text and how it just, okay, we're not going to go off on that rant, but trust me, there's bad flavor text on the wall as well as important information, maybe, and definitely some commonplace information. Well, commonplace to people who live here. So, the marketplace is crowded. There is an enormous court building. It fills the skyline. And you can tell it's court because it has a scrolling marquee that says court and then shows the trials and who's up for trial. And then it flashes the equivalent of their tweets, whatever their fighting words were. Scroll up on screen. It's a gladiatorial mess. That's where you are. What do you want to do?
Melanie, on one hand, is like, words. Okay, words. And like she's coming back now, like, oh, words. Oh, that's a language I remember learning about. And then sees like the flavor text, and she's just like, oh, I'm in super Helen right now, aren't I?
You are in super hell. The flavor text that you see two pieces. I will tell you one and then you tell me one. How about that?
Fire away.
Okay. Um the piece of graffiti that you notice first is written in ridiculously charming calligraphy, like someone has illustrated the first letter of every word, and it says you must not trust the ministry or the chamber or the council, or and it has like seven different synonyms listed in a row. Your turn.
Melanie like admires like the calligraphy, and then she like reads it again, like, okay. And she looks over to another more quickly written, as if somebody took like a can of Krylon spray paint. Um, and just like tried to write down the Pirates of Penzance is pedantic. And pedantic is spelled horribly.
Did the
So
captions pick that up properly? It looks like this.
It did? Oh my
It
god.
looks like it did.
it sure did. That's hilarious.
Miracles do come true.
So most of pedantic is spelled horribly. The very end of it trails off jaggedly as if the writer has been violently ripped away from the wall for the crime of not spell checking their graffiti.
Ooh, that they're
All right.
taking words really seriously here.
This would. My editor would have. Nope. 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 No. I'm not going back to those pitch days. I am not going back to those pitch days. This is hell. Uh,
So hey, it seems okay as long as we don't write anything. They don't have a problem with us, right? Easy.
written, spoken, signed.
Oh, they can everything now too.
I don't know, but I'm a writer in a place where words matter. Well, shit.
Isn't that a good thing?
You've never met my editor.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Fair. That's fair.
All right. So, around you, there's a couple different things happening. There is a big trial happening in the big courthouse ahead of you guys. There also seems to be some kind of ruckus happening over in what, okay, it was probably originally designed to be an open air market, kind of like the one in the ruins that Party B is standing among that you guys haven't seen. Uh, but now it's half flea market and it's half swap sale. Nobody's got a table. Everybody's got like blankets and orange crates on the sidewalk and right in the middle of the road themselves. But none of it is with that, hey, we're here having a good time. I'm just willing to set up and vibe wherever. They are all crowded in with like this stench of desperation on them as they're trying to shove not words. They've got words are all in discount baskets with weird half off with weird percentage signs because you're not supposed to use numbers, but numbers have started working their way into words recently. And then there are all these pop-up shops full of emojis and gifs, and they're doing great. They've got all the storefronts. They're lit up, they're bright, they're shiny. People are in and out all the time. They're walking out flashing a gif over their head at each other. Eh, That's really where your options are. What do y'all want to do?
I don't know how any of this is supposed to get us back to our friends.
Um, I'm out of my depth here.
Makes two of us. Uh, Talk. Are we safe to just keep going?
Talk looks up at you and he kind of whines in the back of his throat and he goes, "It's so different from the last time I was here. You know what? I think I still have a friend here. Let's go find the spelling bee. He'll know where to go next."
Okay, a bee who spells. Let's do it.
All right. So you guys wander away from the courthouse, all the lights and the noise. There's a fight breaking out in front of it. You ignore it and you follow the dog through this crowded word market. People are trying to sell you words that have gone out of favor, phrases that have they've just aged out. And Lord, this one, you don't know what's wrong with him. He must not be okay because he is standing there in a trench coat trying to sell canceled words. He's got canceled words. He's got like 7 slurs for $1. Like, no, nobody's going over there, but he's trying his ass off. He's like, "I got 7 slurs for $1. 7 slurs." I love the 7 slurs guy.
I don't know if that's a good deal or not.
I need
Yeah,
that clip. Someone clip that.
he's my favorite NPC ever. He's my cabbage guy from Avatar.
My slurs!
Oh
My
god.
Not
slurs.
my slurs.
My slurs!
Y'all know we gonna
Oh
have to
god.
explain this to council tomorrow. I'm gonna have to explain this to council tomorrow why everyone's screaming my slurs now. Anyway, you
Melanie
know what?
is just like sees him, like just doesn't even like, you know how when you're on the subway and like there's the busker who just comes onto the train, be loud and obnoxious, you're like, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. That.
Um, so uh, you guys are like, nah, you can keep that to yourself. Kind of do one of these. You walk past him. No one is giving him any business. But talk leads you into further darker. Like at this point, no one's even got whole words anymore. They've got some suffixes. Lord, that person with prefixes, their shit is just dusty. Like people do not talk the way they used to. Our patterns of speech have evolved, and the word merchants of Dictionopolis have had a hard fucking time keeping up. Every time they're like, "Ooh, we got a word in the dictionary," and they do a run and they stock up on the word, and we kill the word within 3 months. Like we have done we have done serious damage to the fabric of this word-based reality. And at this point, they're just standing there trying to eat letters, burning they're burning A's to keep warm because thank God vowels last a little bit longer than consonants. You know, they got their children eating just bowls of E's, not a T to be seen, just E's. Not a C to round it out, just crunchy, sharp E's for the children every night. And among and down.
Oh, we lost you. Your voice.
We can't hear you. You got really excited
Yeah,
about those
I dropped my
E's.
lighter on my
There you
thing. So, and down that
Oh,
alley where people eat nothing but E's and burn vowels to keep warm, there is a large bee. And it's okay, it's a bee because we honor its right to be a bee and we recognize that it's a bee. You may think that it was the mosquito from that was arguing with the cockroach, but it's not a mosquito, it's a bee. So just keep that in mind. And so the spelling bee looks at y'all and she looks at Talk and she looks at y'all and she looks at Talk and she goes, "You know what? I don't have fucking time for this. The last time you came through, I ended up on a cloud. I ended up under a mountain. I ended up in jail. And I had to sit in the back with the cockroach. No, no, you're a bad dog. Like, she's not even talking to y'all. She's just yelling at talk. She goes, BADDOG, bad dog. For those who
Hey,
see spelling
go ahead.
bee.
Belay.
Hey,
Belay.
She likes that. She looks at you and all her little compound eyes. And she's got on the cutest little yellow and black dress. And she looks at you and she goes, unexpected. UNEXPECTED, unexpected. She's thrilled. She goes, hi. The last one he brought me was a very sweet boy, but not a particularly skillful speller.
I'm a writer.
Beni Benny.
And she looks at you. She goes, kind of like that one. They're so sweet, though.
I'm a writer. Words are my thing. My job is to connect them all into a story.
Around you, there is movement. Um, People have heard the word writer. Writers need words. Writers need so many words. Writers need words. Writers need prefixes. Writers need suffixes. Writers need adverbs. Writers need conjunctions. Writers need past perfect tense. Jesus Christ, the past perfect tense guy has not. No one's been down there in like 17 months. There's a lot of movement. People with big eyes clutching dirty, dusty sacks of old, out of use words are starting to shuffle y'all's way.
We need your help. And if you'd like, we can talk along the way. But I would rather not be mobbed. If you don't mind.
The bee looks around and she sees that people have started like calling their cousins and their grandmas. No. Trust me, get those colonial words, like get the old one, get the shit out the back. We got a writer. And she
Get the
goes,
M dash.
hey, get the M dashes. And she goes, yeah, no, we should probably beat it. Uh, and she puts a little buggy arm on each one of y'all, and she kind of shoos everybody into the alley. And as you guys are ducking out the back while people are kind of starting to gather in a group, kind of jostling each other, everyone going, I thought there was a writer. Where's the writer? Is someone here a writer? Does anyone want these M dashes? Um, while all that is happening, she lowers her voice and she goes, okay, now I know I said I wasn't doing this again, but I'm real fucking glad you brought a human with you again, dog, because something is fucky fucky in this town. And on that note, we gonna leave things fucky fucky, and we gonna take a real quick commercial break. 10 15 minutes. We're gonna pay our Bezos bills. We're gonna get things ready. I bet there's probably I don't know if I can do it, but I know there's got to be a command for people to check out our zine, because the Girls Write These Worlds zine dropped on Thursday. And if I can figure out how to make that command happen, then you can check it out on the itch page. Great value, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. So we're gonna go ahead, take a quick break, look at that, check our pitch form, admire our commercials so that you don't have to deal with them during any other weird parts of the show. Just right here, and we will be back in a couple minutes. Everybody say bye.
Bye. BYE.
me.
All right.
Oh.
Are we back? Not quite yet, maybe.
We're back.
All right. There we go. Hi.
Salutations.
I'm taking you as your word for it because we're not back on my phone for some reason. It's probably my phone needs to reload. What the
Yeah, I'm
fuck?
watching on stream too. I see
I
her.
see us.
Fuck it.
I see her
Everybody
face.
else sees us. We're back. Hi, everybody. So we are last time we saw we had Car A, Group One. We had Melanie and Benny, and they were with Talk and the Spelling Bee, making their way out of this dark, cluttered alley. And the Spelling Bee has let y'all know that things are incorrect. I believe the word she used was fucky. It is the correct and proper word because you see, the Spelling Bee is one of the few denizens in this area who really accurately remembers the last couple turns of this world. Now, most people, most denizens, do not remember previous incarnations of their existence. It's just not how they're built. That's asking a lot of anyone. Don't ask them to live all their lives. Did you not see the entire 3 season long nervous breakdown the 10th Doctor had? That's what happens when you ask someone to just be 10 versions of themselves. It's fucking exhausting. Look at Chidi Anagonye. So, they don't tend to remember. They're a fresh start every time. It's best for everyone that way. The spelling bee remembers. The spelling bee remembers the dog. The spelling bee remembers Milo when he was a kid, and the Milo before that, and the Milo before that. She remembers the last 4 versions of Rhyme and Reason, and she knows that this last time, when everything started going wrong on the Phantom Toll booth, on the Phantom Toll roads, that Rhyme and Reason had been missing for a significant amount of time previous to that. And she's pretty sure that their brothers are on their fuck shit again. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Game of Thrones level drama that is the royal family in the Phantom Toll booths, let me just give you a brief summary. So, the King of Wisdom has 2 sons, and they are absolute assholes. They cannot stand each other. They are self important. Each of them is convinced that their little section of what they do is more important than the other. Numbers are far more important than words. Words are far more important than numbers. They got to be the best. They drove their daddy so fucking crazy he literally split the country in two with wisdom in the middle and said, "You go do your word shit over there, you go do your number shit over there. Don't none of y'all come home till Christmas." And he sat in silence for a little bit, and for a minute it was good. Silence was good. No one was on his nerves. But he started getting lonely, and he wished that he had had some good kids just once in his life. And he finds these 2 little girls. 2 little girls are just left on his doorstep. And he names them Rhyme and Reason. And they're sweet and they're kind and they're excellent. Everybody loves them. Even their brothers love them. And when the King of Wisdom dies, he does not give the kingdom to any of his sons. He gives it to his daughters to share. And their brothers have a fucking fit. Because what? That's not even That's not even their real they were real sisters until dad died. Now they're not real sisters. They're real sisters when they thought one of them was going to be told they were more important than the other. The girls agree that neither one of you is more important and you're both assholes. So each of them kidnaps a sister and locks her away, and then they go about ruining and running everything into the ground. It's just raggedy as fuck. And the only way they ever get out is when a Milo rescues them. despite the fact that it is absolutely impossible to rescue Rhyme and Reason.
Milo got
Well,
blown up though, so
right, and now there's no Milo. Um, so that's great. So that's all the bad news, and there's lots and lots of bad news. There is a little bit of good news. You have someone with you. You have two someones with you who is intimately familiar with this area. It may have changed since the last time they were here, but they both know that you need to talk to the witch. The witch has been locked in her nephew's dungeon because she is the sister of the King of Wisdom, and she helps you pick out which word is the best. And when she got a little bit too stingy and didn't want anyone using any of her words at all, they locked her away forever, or at least until, as they say, rhyme and reason return. But ain't no one seen the witch, even though rhyme and reason have been back and gone again. They're pretty sure that they left their aunt in the oubliette under Azaz's castle. If the bee is right, and that is where she is, she would be able to tell you where Zaz has hid his sister. So that's a whole bunch of great news that the bee gives you. You guys just have to figure out how to get to the oubliette underneath the Mad King's castle. I'm going to let y'all sit and think about that because I got to check on the other car real quick. So, hi, Melody. Hi,
Hi.
Pie. Hi, Topaz.
Salutation.
hey, hello.
So, you guys have been left to explore the ruins of wisdom, and you've had a little bit of time to wander around. Why don't you tell me where you guys where you went first?
My character was hungry after getting in that kerfuffle on the road, as I'll say, and so he's gonna go try and get some information and then also some food, possibly from the same source, but we'll see.
Okay. So, why don't you tell me where you're getting your food and your information from?
Okay. Uh, anyway, cat's cute. Anyway, Topaz is going to go and try and find some sort of some sort of sedimentary rock. Something he likes a good. He likes mudstone. Um, really, if there's any mudstone around, but if not, then just something. Maybe some. I don't know. Yeah, just any sort of sedimentary or um, metamorphic rock, but he does not eat. Uh, he does not eat any sort of volcanic rock or anything like that because it gives him indigestion.
All right. Um,
But
I mean,
before
same.
he, yeah, so no igneous, just metamorphic and sedimentary. And he's gonna kind of munch around, get a variety, maybe make himself a little charcuterie plate of different stones. And then he's gonna before he eats them, he's gonna ask them if they have any information.
all right. So, Topaz is wandering among the ruins, and you guys notice that every so often he'll look around and he'll see a particular building, and you're not sure what he's seeing at that building that catches his attention, what's making some of these so much more attractive than others. But he kind of goes over and he leans real close to it like he's looking for something. And every single time he comes back with a sizable chunk in his hands. His hands are quite large, so these are stones like the size of your head. They are damaging, or they could be. But instead, he holds them very gently, like he's holding something soft, and he keeps lifting them to his head and muttering low. And then Like you swear to God, he's talking to this rock, y'all.
It's very guttural too. It vibrates your chest cavity almost, kind of like a tiger's growl or something.
Yeah, my chords
Melody's
get shit
watching
out of me intentionally.
this. Melody's watching this, just utterly fascinated, trying to like pick out like the different mineral compositions of what he's picking out, seeing if it matches what he's made of. Just observing, fascinated.
Melody, do you wanna get out one of those bags that you had?
I mean, those are a little bit big for my little sample bags, but this is something else. Is that what it sounds like when you talk to plants? Can you talk to plants?
Topaz start to eat the rocks, you do notice that he's a very messy eater. So there are a lot of small stone fragments that like fall down all around him.
Can Pi talk to plants? She has tried to talk to plants. I think they just have to be other woodkin. So yeah. Like yeah, of course I can talk to other plants. I don't. I think he's eating that though, and I don't eat other plants. I just
Right, you do the thing with the sun.
yeah. It's like a to-go container.
Lord, you know what?
Meals on wheels.
Fine.
Topaz, this is gonna sound very strange and a bit forward, but are you gonna finish that?
No, I am almost full. I I ate one too many garnets. They're very filling.
I'm sure they would be. They're very dense. And she's just gonna quickly grab a specimen bag and scoop as many little pebbles and bits into it as she can, and just tuck it back in her pocket. Like, so that's
This
your
is your
sustenance. That's how you eat.
Yes.
Does it taste good?
Oh, it is delicious. My palate is refined beyond imagination because of all of these delicious minerals I can eat. The metallic flavor is overwhelming sometimes for some of them, but if it is put in at the right amount, it can make for quite the exciting meal.
Well, you must have quite an appetite.
Appetite is actually quite a tasty mineral. Not surprising based on the name, huh?
Yeah, that's quite a coincidence. So I saw you were muttering to some of them. Did you get any good intel off of that?
do you talk to your food?
It, they don't mind.
I mean, you got consent. Okay.
We have a
Did,
bond.
did they tell you anything?
Yeah, I would have asked any of the larger pieces before chomping into them. What? How have they been affected by the slick, um, smooth stone that we saw earlier?
Okay. So you want so Topaz wants to ask the pieces of rubble how they were affected by the new slick stone
Well,
that
if
appeared.
there's any exposed rock vein that might have the rubble near it, that's probably what he would ask. Something still connected to the earth.
Okay. All right. So
Because he doesn't. I will say. I hate to interrupt you, but that's one thing he doesn't like. Knock chunks of rock off of natural like rock formations. Only rubble that is like fallen, kind of like dead skin or something. That's gross, but
that's funny. I mean, I would have said like an apple off a tree, but nah, Leland went right for I choose cat.
this game's
Yeah.
scary. Okay, it's got my mind all messed up. This game's scary.
Apparently. So why don't you roll your charm for me?
Plus, I'm like in the mindset of Rock being skin at this point. I'm in my character. Roll, but what do you want me to roll again? I'm sorry.
I want you to roll with. Did I say the right thing? Yeah, charm.
Oh Lord, not a very charming stonekin apparently.
I really want to know what Topaz's charm is.
Ooh, a 6. My
Nice.
only die. My only die I've rolled.
Nice. So the good news is that the rock in your hand has a lot of information and it's going to share it all with you. The bad news is that everything the rock is telling you, the slick, grayish purple, glassy rock of these jagged mountains hears as well. So the void is listening. Go ahead and mark a shadow for the attention
Thanks.
it has noticed. So here is what it tells you. Uh, the vein of, or you're touching a piece of real rough granite. And as your fingers kind of run across it, you can hear it. It doesn't talk in words, it talks in moments and images and vibrations, deep, slow things. Um, and it tells you about how it had been sitting there restfully a couple thousand years, like it was just getting started with its nap. When all of a sudden, this slick, violent, terrible, it tells you that it's shaped like a rock, but that is not a rock. It does, it, it's, that's all I can say is it's not a rock. It is so, and in the words not a rock, you also feel that encompasses it's not anything. That is the void solidified itself. It has become the mountains of ignorance. Um, and it has engulfed almost all of these lands. Nothing remains outside of the mega city that has become Dictionopolis and Digitopolis, so large that they've merged in the middle into one giant, messy thing that neither ruler really wants to acknowledge or even pretend it's there because just its existence proves that they're both fucking assholes and wrong. So, and somewhere, and you are kind of at the top of that. If you went to the top of the mountain, it tells you, and went to the other side of the castle, you would be able to see the edges of the city. Like this has gotten so large that it is now at the edges of the remains of wisdom. Um, and the rocks tell you that there is something, a couple somethings moving around in that castle. Those are the things the rock tells you before you eat it.
Okay, awesome. I definitely thank it before chowing down for both the sustenance and the information. Um, and I'm going to find a piece of garnet schist, like a nice shiny. Uh, it's almost glittery because of all the mica in it, and there's little red gem inclusions in it. And I'm gonna bring it over to. I'm gonna grab two pieces. I'm gonna bring two of them over to the others in case they're hungry, of course.
I'm not sure what your current dietary requirements are, but I figured I would offer you this as either a snack or a keepsake.
She licked it.
Of course she did. She's a
I saw
geologist.
that.
Yeah,
Geologist.
what else?
Geologist. Is this
You're
a
only supposed to
fossil?
lick the
I don't
halite,
know.
okay? You're only supposed to.
Is this
You
bone?
can tell it's a bone because it sticks to your tongue.
Look, one time I was in a
Geologist.
mineralogy class and we were taking a test, and one of the ways that the only way I could tell two of these like white creamy minerals apart, which one was borax, was that I licked them, and so yeah, I've licked some kind of weird stuff. Borax
Yeah,
being one
there's
of them.
context for this.
Just some
It's
raw borax.
it's
It
either
tastes like
does it
laundry
smell
detergent.
funny or can I eat it?
Uh,
Thank you for the
anyway,
gift.
I
It's
made
all
an
for
A on that
pretty.
test, so.
Ty's just gonna look at Melody and look at Topaz and go, I don't, I just stand. Like, I just stand and do. This is really pretty though. I will keep this. And she like takes off the
Aw.
nest in her hair, puts it down, and then like, I will keep this. Thank you. I don't eat rocks. I don't eat. I eat. I just stand in the sun and drink water. Water is very important.
This is my friend Sebastian.
And then I hold out my hand, and then a little albino leopard gecko comes out of like a crevice and like kind of peeks his head out at you, and then yawns.
So cute.
Oh, that's so cool. No birds live in this nest. That would have been really bad when I was our vote. Please don't make me be a vote again, Melody.
I would never make you a boat again. You did such a good job. We'll never ask you to do that again.
I would not make a
Why
very
do
good
trees
boat,
flow?
Melody.
I mean, it's because they're not as dense water. There's so much math behind that, but yeah, I promise I won't do that to you.
I might do that to you. Anyway, sorry about that. So,
Evil.
you guys are standing around at the base of the ruins of wisdom. You've discovered that if you crest this hill and go through the other side, you will be able to reach just the edge of that no-go zone. You are significantly closer to the math magician citadel than you are anywhere else once you hit that mixed area. Uh, what do you how do you guys want to proceed? What do you want to do?
Did the rock tell you which way to go?
The rock you ate.
My
Yeah.
bad. I was trying to paste a picture
Not-
of that rock, and I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Yeah, no worries.
No,
It may have. It may have. If it did, Arnica, then I will lead the way. If it did,
Okay. I mean,
I just don't
it
remember as a human. I just don't
it
remember.
technically did. Really, you know that you have to crest the hill. You have to get through the castle at the top to get to the road on the other side. So, I mean, you know you got to go up. Man, y'all just keep got to climb hills. You know why you have to climb hills every episode? Because I have to climb a hill both ways to get to work, and I make everyone else climb hills too. It is legitimately just that petty and spiteful. You're welcome. So,
Thank you.
at the top of that hill is a castle.
Are there any trees at the top of the hill?
Um, so there is some plant life here, but much in the same way that Topaz instinctively knows that the rocks of the mountains of ignorance are not something he wants to interact with, you can tell looking at the wind twisted remains of a couple bushes, something halfway between a shrub and a sapling. You can tell that you are one, nothing like them, and two, very glad that they are not able to. You are glad that they cannot communicate with you.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but we should stay away from the trees.
Bad trees?
Bad trees.
Okay.
I don't know. Bad trees, fake trees, not friends, not friendly trees.
Noted.
They seem like kind of a beach.
Y'all beaches. So, in fact, as you guys climb and you get closer into their influence, what you realize, Pi, is that you get the same feeling that the rock tried to pass along to Topaz, which is this is a not tree. And it's not a tree, but it's also not anything else. This is a whole bunch of not shaped like a thing. You guys are like, if the void, if let me, I'm gonna go ahead and make a Star Wars right here. If the void is a sarlacc, y'all are like 3 teeth rings deep. It is in the middle. It is literally in the middle of devouring this entire world. Consider these mountains to be its teeth. It has pierced through it has pierced through the ground in 1,000 places. It is everywhere except for these cities. You can see now why Milo removed the toll roads from this land and locked it.
This is bad. This is bad. Let's just go.
Keep moving
and
forward. Let's just
Keep moving.
get through it as quick as we can.
Try not to die.
Those are all good things.
All good things. I'm going to just pick you up if that's okay.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, okay. Up.
Let's go. Actually, do you want to be on the rock?
No, this is
Or on
great.
Because
As long as it's not hurting you.
No, I'm fine.
Oh, this is awesome.
I know you like rocks.
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay, let's go.
So the three of you pick your way up among the rubble. You make it at a fairly pretty fast clip. I mean, nothing against you, Melody. You are well used to hiking. You are very physically fit as far as traveling goes. But I mean, you're still made of meat and you're still not as big as them. And they have long, literally tireless, not meat legs. And they make a short work of this hill. It is the best hill you've ever climbed. You haven't had a hill this easy since you were still a babe in arms, and no one could expect you to do it on your tiny legs. Last time someone carried you up a hill like this, you were like 4, and it was your dad. You were on shoulders, just like now. So for a moment, you feel that feeling again. It feels like being with your dad on an adventure. Um, you kind of wish you could see this because man, he would have fucking loved this, right?
This is so nice. I'm scared how you're gonna ruin.
I know, right?
I'm gonna ruin it, yeah. So as you guys get to the top, you are confronted with the remains of the Castle of Wisdom. Um, it is a mess. It has been the entire front has been caved in. Parts of it have been burnt. There is water damage. Animals have nested. It's been a long time since anyone successfully was in here. Uh, that said, there's obviously someone unsuccessfully in here. Someone is scavenging. They are making their life among the remains because there are two separate sets of footprints. One heads to the east tower, one heads to the west tower. Or you can just say, I don't think I care, and go straight out the back. There's probably not going to be any kind of traps or nothing. You can probably just go out the back.
I don't trust that. Okay, so so we're not gonna split up, right?
Oh, no. We've already been split up enough today.
All right. So
Whichever way we go, we gotta do it together.
rock paper scissors.
I'll let you two handle that.
Is it because I'm a
Well, no, because
really?
I'm up preoccupied. I'm up here holding on to you.
Oh,
My arms are a little occupied.
how are you doing up there?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Okay, if I win west, if you win east. Topaz.
Keep catching me at the wrong time. I'm trying to write rap lyrics about trees in our damn chat now. What? What now? What do you want? I'm just
Playing
kidding.
rock,
I'm just
paper,
messing with
scissors.
rock, paper, scissors.
Between Pie and Topaz.
Is that offensive? Is that offensive?
If you don't throw some rock, paper, scissors,
Is that offensive?
one, two, three, shoot.
Oh, I lost. I
You are
did these
both
ones.
off camera.
Well, I did these ones. Oh no, no. Okay, I thought you were. You should have just left it off camera. I thought you were a rock. All right, let's try again. Let's-
One, two, three, shoot.
There we go. Why do we keep doing the same one?
Okay, well,
See, you're so
You do the
insane.
same. You do the same one, but Knox is like a half second later.
One, two, three, shoot.
No. All right.
Oh
I give
my
up.
god!
Pick up a d6 and both of y'all roll a d6.
All
My
right,
good
there we
God.
go.
Finally!
Much better. I rolled a 4. I rolled a 4. I rolled a
I
4.
rolled
That
a
was
2. We're
that
going
hurt
Okay, I
my
swear to
soul
God, if
to
you had said 4, I was going to crawl through the screen.
Yeah, me too.
Both
That
of
hurt my
y'all.
soul. I don't know why. That was.
All right.
I felt so bad to do.
Oh my god.
Leland, you won with a
We're
4. Which
connected.
direction do you want to go?
Oh shit.
Left, right, or straight?
Well, definitely not straight. So um,
Da 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 da.
let's go left. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to take a left. You're heading towards the east wing. As you head towards the east tower, you notice that there's just the things here have been they've been destroyed with the pure fury of a trapped animal. These are things that don't look like they were caught in the initial damage that sacked the castle. They look very much as if whoever is staying here now has been methodically just destroying everything sound related. Bird cages. There are broken records. There are broken Victrolas. Like it's quite old. There are Victrolas as opposed to phonographs. But it's radios are shattered. There's not a single noise making thing left in the East Tower. You are the only thing making a sound as your feet click, click, click on the stairs.
Well, this is creepy.
I really, really don't like this.
It's great.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm
It is.
gonna.
It's fun.
Even though I probably weigh a whole lot, I'm gonna try to be as quiet as possible. Still.
Okay. You are being you are trying to be as quiet as you can, and you are not. It's not that you're doing a bad job. Like on it, you learned how to walk lightly on a ship, but these are flagstone floors, and there's only so much you can do about the sound of several hundred pounds of stone hitting flagstone. You can't do shit about it.
Mhm.
And in fact, it is making a raucous. Some might say it's making an awful din. There is a croaking, dreadful kind of. It sounds as if something is trying to howl and scream and yodel and make traffic sounds and discordant small dogs barking at each other. It's trying to be all of those sounds at once, but mostly it's just a small, tiny, croaked, dry little of a noise.
we want to figure out what that is?
I, um, no, but I guess we have to.
I can try
I mean,
something.
we can turn around. Nobody is stopping us from turning around and
This is
leaving.
also true, but he did win the rock, paper, scissors.
Oh well, if I made the bad choice, then yes, we can turn around.
How far away does that sound?
Uh-oh. Oh, it sounds much further away than it actually is.
Uh,
Uh,
um, I'm gonna like kind of tap Pie to stop. I'm gonna try something. I got the idea from the pan. Um, I don't think it's gonna feel particularly nice, but it might be a quieter way to figure out what's going on. You okay with me trying something a little scary?
oh, why do I feel like it's something to do with shadows?
Cause it is.
Oh, hate this for me.
Mm,
Okay. Okay,
And just in
Melody, we were
case,
doing so well. We were
my,
doing so well.
my character's gonna become a statue.
oh,
Why does he keep doing that?
it's a good defense mechanism. To be fair.
You're a hater that you can't do it. I see it in your eyes. You're like, how come he gets to be a fucking statue?
You know what? Topaz is like 9 feet tall, and Pi is like 6, so she's just gonna go behind
Scoop
him.
behind.
Like a tree growing out of a statue. That's like we're just like a
I'm
cute
just gonna be
display.
like,
And I'm just poking up over the top.
That's hilarious. Okay, so now that I've got you three Muppets in a trench coat, why don't you tell me what exactly it is you're planning on doing?
I don't
I
know.
am going to reach down deep within myself, take in the darkness of this area, understand that we are in the absolute belly of the beast, so to speak. And as the pan did, detach my shadow. This is a trait as a human that I can do. And let it go spy silently. I can hear and see through it, so I'm going to send it kind of up and away from us to see what's making that awful noise.
All right. So shadows are persnickety. They are a bit. Look, shadows do what shadows want to do.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna need you to roll on your mind, and let's see how much control you have over your shadow.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
A one, a two, and a three.
Oh no.
Oh.
So here's the thing. You don't have any mitigating successes to counteract that one. You have
Mm-mm.
critically failed with this shadow.
I've never done this before.
Ooh, boo. Let's talk about the experience you're about to have.
Oh man.
This is a learning experience. We grow from these things. Let's grow together.
Oh boy.
Now, your shadow, it itches on the bottom of your feet when your shadow comes loose. It is like it itches all the way to the bone. Um, and you can feel it pulling something from way deep inside, like whatever it is, wherever your shadow's attached, it's attached here in the back of your skull, it's attached to just one of your wisdom teeth, and it's attached to a spot right there beneath it. It's attached to all the places you don't want to feel something pull loose. And you just, like a car breaking down, you can feel those things inside you going poop, 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 poop. All of those ties break loose. Your shadow slides away from you, and you see it stop, and you see it kind of shake itself out and kind of climb up the wall. And it's looking around. It's not paying any attention to you. I hope you didn't need the shadow to actually listen to any instructions or come back, because it has fucked off. It is exploring all the way to the very edge of where the light is, And before you can tell it to be careful or to come back or to anything else, an enormous smoky hand, well large enough to grab Topaz's head the same way he could grab yours, reaches out and it snatches your shadow. Um, the two of them kind of merge. It's smoke and it's darkness, and you can feel something in you kind of jerking and twisting as your shadow tries to fight its way free. Uh, and then that same choked, can't make a sound as I scream noise happens again. You realize it's kind of a laugh as this thing eats your shadow.
What? What? My shot.
I'm just white knuckling into Pie's shoulders as this is happening.
Do we run now?
I think so. I think I fucked up.
Topaz,
You did.
get out of the
You
way.
didn't mean to do that?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
Run.
Run.
Holding on for dear
Start
life.
running out.
So you guys are booking it down the stairway, the three of you together, well, the two of you, Melody, safely tucked up on your shoulders, in a perfect position to see the terrible den or what remains of it, swollen and monstrously bloated from all the smoke, of the sound of the explosions, of the clattering of the rubble of the entire building following, but also choked into a permanent silence as all the screams of wisdom cut off all at once. It is it is in a hell of its own design, a creature of absolute ruckus noise, forced into an endless silence, and it has been driven monstrously mad by this. Uh, the room, the walls quake as the den drags itself. It's clawing into the walls. You can feel the stairs shaking as you make it. You just jump off the edge of the stairs, and this thing, I don't want to say it tumbles down, because tumbles kind of implies that there is gravity and wounding happening, as opposed to just smoke, heavy, oily smoke rolling down the stairs at you fast. Which direction do y'all want to go? Do you want to try to head to the West Tower, or do you want to try to head out the back?
I have to go wherever Pie goes.
That is a fact. And if Pie's following me,
Oh, Pie's done following.
got it. Good idea. Well, then I'm following Pie then. So
Pie,
you have to make the
which
decision.
direction are y'all going?
See, the part of me that's Nox, the player that's smart, says to get the hell out of Dodge. The part of me that Nox, the player that knows that you probably have something fun, and by fun I mean terrible, for us in the other tower, wants to go there.
Okay.
Don't listen
Now,
to that one.
I don't I don't want to overly influence your decision, but as a benevolent God, I feel like I should point out that your black ass is about to do the horror movie no of running
Oh
up
yeah,
a
wait, no, I'm
flight
not
of
doing that. It's the white
stairs
people in the
to
horror
a
movie thing.
room
Let's
with
go.
no exit.
No,
You're about to put yourself upstairs in a tower.
that's fair. That's fair. You're
Is
right.
that what I heard?
I'm going left. I'm getting out. I'm getting out of Dodge.
Okay.
I'm not doing the white people in the horror movie thing.
I'm like, no, my black sibling with blood fresh on the street, you gonna run up the stairs in a horror movie. Okay.
Yeah, say, let me make all those bad decisions, okay? I'm just gonna follow you.
If this was a longer game, I would have let you do
Yeah, if this was a longer game, I probably would have done it, but you're because I'm like, I want to know what you had in plan, what you had planned. But the other part of me is like, one, timing, two, I ain't about that life. So
Let's go.
Um, so this
that's
is
what
what's
killed me.
really funny. This is what's so funny. This is what's terribly funny. As you guys run out the back, you discover that I was not lying and there is not a trap. There is not nothing. You have a straight fucking shot out the back of the
Come on.
That
castle.
was a cackle if I ever heard one, Arnica.
Nothing jumps out at you. There
That's some
are,
psychological horror.
I know, there are no monsters. There's nothing raging against you. You can see the remains of a couple of, abandoned armor as if whatever was inside the armor has disappeared out, leaving only the remains, shelled and empty. But there's no enemies there. You spill out through the gates, and as you do, you notice that there's something kind of, there's a, you pass through some air that's kind of thick. It feels kind of cottony. The air feels dense and quiet. You've passed through the last remaining muffling shield. Um, the ones that the I can't remember her name all of a sudden. The Valley of Silence had these muffling shields set up around their castles. There is one left in existence, and it traps the almighty Din inside. The three of you tumble out, and the den crashes against it, and you just see the entire side of it just boil with this black, oily, void tinge smoke. And a dozen eyes, 100 eyes. There's a lot of different shaped and sized eyes that are forming in this smoke, and they're all watching you very hatefully as you back your way out of its eye line.
Okay. We're over the mountains. What else did the rocks tell you?
Did y'all hear my offspring?
No.
He I want y'all to know he came out at the beginning of that monologue, just stood at the foot of my streaming space, staring at me with horror that just grew and grew. And then as soon as I finished, he went, "Send my condolences to your crew," and walked out the door.
That's
Bye,
so funny.
teenager.
Oh, a mastermind in the making.
Yep.
You just feel Melanie shaking like all on your shoulders. Just absolute ball of tight nerves.
Shaking like a leaf.
Shaking like a leaf.
Puns never stop.
Don't
Okay.
stop
Where else
coming and
did
they
the
don't
rocks
stop
tell us
coming.
to go?
And you like as she's kind of like balled up on top of her face is buried in like the nest on top that sits on top of your head. She's like, please don't stop running, please don't stop running, please don't stop running, please don't stop running.
Um, so as you guys spill out of the castle and down onto this road, you can see that it is, some of it is the remains of a road, and some of it is a new road leading into this city sprawl. It absolutely blankets as far as the eye can see. The light over there off to the left has kind of a greenish bluish glow. The light closer to you is very pink and orange. It's bright, but like it's wrong bright. The undertones are bad. You don't know what these undertones are, but you wish they weren't. Um, and it's also covered in billboards, but just everything, just scrolls, ticker scrolls of stock numbers, of phone numbers. Shit goes up, shit goes, numbers everywhere. There are phone numbers written on walls. Graffiti is done in code. Every so often, you see an emoji here or there pop up. You see a letter cheekily inserted in place of a number. That's kind of funny. Normally, it's the other way around. But unlike the city of words, this place is starkly, terrifyingly empty in the dark. There is no there's no movement. This city has been shut down with military precision on, at least in the neighborhood you're in. You are the only things walking the street.
Huh.
I'm sure we blend right in
Yeah.
with the rest of the people that live here. So even if we were the only ones, I'm just kidding. We definitely stand out, even if there were other people around.
Guess we keep
You
walking till we
would.
find someone. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, please.
No, just it's empty. It's a big city, so just guess we keep walking till we find someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's anyone here.
Now I will say that Topaz Leland is correct. Y'all definitely stand out because as you wander out of this dark, mostly heavily policed area, there something is definitely watching you. There are cameras everywhere, like very precisely placed. You can tell that they are all the exact distance apart. Even if they had to put a pole, put a something to support a camera, even if there was not a space for a camera, the camera is still there. Can't fuck up the math, right? You got to must be precise. You are being watched through those, and as you make your way towards sound, you come across it just goes from nothing to everything. It goes from grungy to busy and hyper clean. There's no litter, there's no graffiti, there's no everything. Just a stream of almost human sized ones and zeros running back and forth. And they are literally running as fast as they can. Some of them look tired, a couple of them look ill. You see a one fall and nobody stops. The rest of the ones and zeros continue to run.
I'm gonna go try to help it.
You know what? You're bigger than them. I'm gonna let you give it a shot. Roll body for me.
Oh, body. What is my body? I'm going to make it happen as her trait. So I succeed the check, but I take a physical condition. I'm going to take injured because I'm assuming there's just tons and tons and tons. I'm about to get shoved or trampled.
Okay. So here is how you make it happen. You see this one. It it's kind of thinner than the other ones. It looks like you don't know how a number can look old, but it looks old. And when it stumbles, you're expecting someone to reach out for it to help it. No one helps it. It falls, and the others continue to run over it. You can hear it, you know, trying to reach out for help, and you can't stop yourself. You just kind of vault off high and hit the ground a little roughly. Your knee and your ankle kind of hurt. They're not broken, but you're sore as you stumble back to your feet and shove your way through this streaming line of ones and zeros and gather this injured one off the ground. You kind of hold it against you as you fight your way out, and you guys make it to the edge. Um, But as soon as you guys make it out, you notice that there is a tall, tall figure scowling down at you from one very, very coldly angry face. Um, Now, I mentioned that it only has one face because its head does have 12 perfectly equal sides, but 10 of them have damage heavily done to them. You can see spiderweb cracks. There is no image on them. You see only this coldly angry face. And then towards the back, right about here, there is a simpering, desperate to please face. Those are the only faces the dodecahedron has left. And it scowls down at you with the cold one and says, "How dare you break the chain?"
Seem pretty broken to me already.
Um, it looks at you and blinks slowly. It goes, "The math magician's blockchain has remained unbroken for 2.5 years now, and would have remained unbroken for countless eons more, because the blockchain will never die. Nothing bad could ever happen on a blockchain. This was just what was supposed to happen." And he's just like, he cannot believe that you interrupted even a second. He's like, "Do you know how many millions of mundane reality dollars you interrupted when you broke that chain to get that one? Do you know how much stock just disappeared?"
I've never won much for the stock market anyway. It's all funny money.
Lord, a zero stops. Like, it knows it's not supposed to, but it freezes behind you. It's bumped into by a bunch of other ones and zeros, and at this point, it starts to cause a a little bit of a clusterfuck. There's a small traffic jam happening, but that small traffic jam of ones and zeros is starting to cause other ones here and there. You are causing a system pileup.
I assume that's pretty bad for y'all too.
Um, the dodecahedron reaches down and it snatches the one from you. It's
Mm,
holding it by its arm. It's dangling a couple feet off the ground, and it starts to stomp off. It goes, "I am taking this one to the math magician's citadel. You will come with me."
right, I got some words with him.
Um, and from the back of its neck, where that one simpering face is, you can see it mouthing, just play along. Just play. Like, this one face is, it's begging you to keep the peace. Now, we're going to leave the three of you heading into the math magician's citadel. Let's check in on our other group real quick and get them in a position, so that, because we're coming up on the end of our night, so let's get into position so that next week we can go bam. You guys will be like, "Oh no," and then it'll get even worse from there. Are we ready?
Now maybe not, but let's do it.
All right.
Hold up.
So,
All right, let's do this.
okay. Last time we saw you guys, the spelling bee had just informed you that she was pretty sure King Azaz still has his aunt, the witch, locked in an oubliette beneath his castle, in the place he swore he was going to set her free from the very first time rhyme and reason were stolen. This has been many times since then. The spelling bee is pretty sure she's never been out. She's underneath the castle. She definitely knows how to get to rhyme, reason, or both. What do y'all want to do?
Well, storming a fortress is difficult when there's only two of us. It seems like you curry some favor just by existing, but there's no doubt in my mind that that's exactly where we need to go. I think we can trust our friends to be very careful and not do anything irresponsible. Like, we saw Melody able to control a volcano. I don't think she's going to do anything irresponsible with her magic or otherwise. So we should be totally fine to just make a beeline for that ant in the basement.
Wow. 21. Uh, yeah. That- I have never corpsed. Ever. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, well, if there's a way to get in and not be as conspicuous as I was back there. And you can still hear, but I have M dashes! Let's
Again.
try not to make a ruckus.
We have to be. We have to look like we belong, but not in a way that would attract attention to ourselves. We have to be the comers and goers of the castle. Maybe people that can give words to the king, maybe. Or maybe I don't know how this place works. Do we collect all the fast words, and does that make us faster? I'm very confused as to how the exact rules of this place work.
Uh, so the spelling bee turns and looks at you, and she goes, "The rules were a lot easier a long time ago. Words are words are tools, and words are weapons, and words are power. Words can also be chains, CHAINS. Words can be disruptive. Words can be hurtful, HURTFUL. Like words can, and she's starting to get a little bit flustered. She's having a hard time explaining herself. So finally, she looks at Talk and she goes, "I'm sorry about this. You know I don't mean it, right?" Dog sighs. He at least is braced for what's about to happen. He goes, "Right now." And the spelling bee looks at him and she goes, "You are a terrible dog, and you pee on the rug." And the words physically begin to take shape. They fall out of her mouth like a waterfall, braiding themselves into like a bullwhip that drops into her hand. And as she holds it up and twists it, you can see that the words have spun themselves into strips of leather. They are both themselves and the object simultaneously. And she cracks it and goes, "Words are weapons."
Okay.
If words are weapons, and she pulls out her book from her bag and a pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. SWORD.
And as you spell the word sword, holding your pen, the pen twists in your hand. The nib begins to lengthen. It straightens itself out into a gladius like blade. Uh, the barrel thickens. It only lengthens a little bit from the length of the original pen, but it becomes a significantly heftier blade. Um, it it should be heavy from the size of it, but it still weighs exactly as much as your pen.
Whoa. And look, take out my sword as well. Hey, we match. Twirl it.
Well,
I almost said y'all could touch tips.
We cross blades. That's
That's
depending
not
on the
any
circle, the
Supreme
same thing.
salute.
That's not any better.
like they salute and then they touch, touch.
We form an
Okay.
X shape with
You can't say
the
anything at this
weapons
point.
with the weapons in our hands.
That's going back to the canceled words vendor.
Yeah. See, I obviously snuck back, bought 2 canceled words and 7
Touch.
slurs for $1 on break. 'Cause
Just a tip.
that
Just a
just
tip.
flew right out.
No. Speaking of tips, if anybody wants to donate any bits, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for sure. We got a coffee. It's definitely under there, like 4 things up. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm definitely fine.
Uh,
Fine. We're all fine. I
so,
mean, Melanie's got a sword. They both got swords. This is excellent. We're obviously fine.
Melanie,
So,
And
go.
let me try. I want to try one because I know if there's anything that could breach the defenses, walls is something strong, moving at a very high speed. And I very slowly inflate my chest, and then I say, "Cannonball!" very slowly, like I'm blowing up a balloon as I'm exhaling.
Perfect. So, as you do that, the spelling bee sees what you're getting ready to do. And she's like, Lord bless this cronk of a. He didn't even check to see which wall. She grabs you she grabs you quickly by the shoulders and she whips you around so that you are facing. You would not think that this is part of the castle. It seems to be a fairly nondescript, pretty heavy piece of wall, mostly covered in graffiti. But as you rip cannonball and the word spills out of your mouth, round, swelling, picking up size and speed, it is a solid like 3 feet in diameter by the time it crashes into this wall. It goes through like the Kool-Aid man, just oh yeah.
And on the way, it bowls over a poor merchant who spills his words. Everyone goes, "My slurs!"
Right? Oh no, it rolls over the slur merchant. My slurs, just
Is this
terrible
gonna be
names
a thing?
everywhere until
It
we
is
leave.
now.
Yes.
All right, slur
um,
counter.
No, no.
I got the counter back there, so
and so in fact, it is 10:55. So we're gonna leave the slur merchant on his knees, trying to gather his slurs from the dirty street that he's only made dirtier. We're going to leave a big
I
hole in
can't even
Kingdom
hold all these
Basket.
slurs. I can't even hold.
I'm gonna get fired tonight. We're gonna leave a big hole in the castle. We're gonna leave the other half of our team getting frog marched in to see some cops. We have made such a mess. I am so proud of you tonight. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are, where you've been, and where we can find you in the next week. Let's start with Rosie.
Hi, I'm Rosie, SweetRosieBee. Today I was Melody, hers but causing all sorts of chaos. You can find me this week. Nowhere else but here. It's a quiet week this week. Other than that, yeah, not much going on. I have a nice quiet week before things really start kicking into high gear. Uh, yeah, keep an eye out for any announcements that I might have coming your way.
Nice. All right, and let's bump over to Leland.
Sorry, I'm making a meme. I am Leland slash Leopold the Just. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Leopold the Just. I post all sorts of tabletop RPG content and just regular silly jokes. And also serious stuff sometimes. I have a serious side, everyone. I'm very concerned about a lot of things. Anyway, what else? What am I doing? I'm not in any streams right now besides this, but if you're looking for a GM on Start Playing, I'm doing that thing now. So you can find me at Leopold the Just over there. I've got an Urban Shadows game and a Monster of the Week game with seats open in them. So and they're very fun.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I mean after this stream's over, I'm probably gonna try and sign up for another one. So hopefully you'll see me in the future somewhere else on stream because I did it a lot last year. I just kind of slowed down a little bit. But yes,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. Knox.
Hi, I'm Nox. My cat is knocking over my camera. You can find me at everything now because guess who got her Twitch name changed? That's right, I am officially at Noxternal_7 on every single thing. Hell yeah! That was bothering me so much. It was bothering me so much. It was so inconsistent, and I got it changed. And guess what? I'm gonna try to start streaming on Twitch if my laptop can handle it. That's a very big if, but I'm gonna try. But until then, you can catch me on Sunday I'm pulling this up because I totally know these things at the top of my head. 10 a.m. Central Time, so I have to figure that out in Eastern Time. Um,
11.
on Corrosive Squid's Twitch channel, where I'll be playing Hunting and Hoaxes. And then I'll be back here Monday.
Awesome. Thank you. Julie?
Hi, everyone. I've been Julie or Julie CL playing Benny on this show. I am a streamer trying to get back into the game. I'm going to start streaming probably Fire Emblem Three Hopes again and Final Fantasy XIV. I'm starting for the first time, so once I get the hang of it, I will let people know about that. This Wednesday, I'm going to be running Honey Heist on Roll D5, one of the other networks I work with, ROLE_D5. It'll be my 4th time running Honey Heist, so I'm very excited. And if you want to listen to any of my writing, I'm the co-creator and co-writer of the Realm Tree audio series, which you can listen to on your commutes. That's all for tonight.
Nice. Thank you. And cheers.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bloodthread Shears, Shears for short. I have a link tree because, unlike Nox, lucky, I have many. I'm Legion. I have many names, and you can find all the links there. Also, hire these people. Give them your money. When I'm not here on Monday, for which we weren't here, playing as the frazzled writer Melanie Kurt, I'm a streamer. I'm a photographer. I'm a belly dancer going on my 9th year. Um, and mostly I'm promoting my artwork, specifically photography. I am the head of Different Drum Photography. I specialize in events, portraits, headshots for industry or otherwise. I do boudoir. I created casual boudoir for those who just want to be in a t-shirt and shorts. Maybe do something true crime related. It's a thing. Don't ask me.
You know what? Whatever pays the bills.
Exactly. Um, I am in the same boat as Knox. I stream Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays now that I have a day job. I stream whenever I can, whenever my laptop allows me, which check out my Ko-Fi. I'm trying to raise $2,500 for a dedicated desktop and 2 monitor setup. So this way, I don't have to worry about my battery warping my laptop again.
That's
I felt
important.
that in my soul.
Oh,
Also-
I gave the Geek Squad guy the photo of what the battery looked like when I took it out. If you've ever seen the internal screaming meme, I saw that in person. Okay, bye.
I have so many questions about you.
Oh goodness. Oh gosh. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. I've been Arnica, your GM, and this has been a fantastic session. That's what I wanted. We're not closing early. We still got 3 more episodes, 8, 9, and 10 to come. But until then, let's go ahead and keep you busy. You can go ahead and pick up the Girls Write These Worlds zine. It is available with our little boop. The link's right in there. And I bet it's about to show up again by someone with magic fingers who's not me. Because my magic fingers are checking this calendar. So I can tell you what to watch for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we ain't got nothing. You can go ahead and watch some real TV tomorrow. Some boring, terrible, I paid for this TV. And then come back on Wednesday for good shows where you can watch season 2 of Lancer at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then come back in the evening for Roll for Luck at 8 p.m. On Thursday, I believe. Is 50 Drama Llamas showing already? No, surely not. Surely not. There
I
might
think it's still
be Drama
casting.
Llamas on Thursday. Okay, good. I don't know. They didn't have that listed, but I do know that on Friday, Aliens starts. How do I know? I'm in Aliens. Come watch me on Friday. There will be space horror, and I won't be in charge. I'll just be along for the ride. And then on Saturday, So that's Friday at 2:30. Saturday is Quiet Year at 3 p.m. And then on Sunday, come back for Theros season 2 at 10 a.m. and Contour and Charisma at 7 p.m. I told y'all we're busy. We're busy on the channel and I'm busy everywhere else, which you can find out by checking me out on Twitter, Twitch, or the Hive at Arnica X Ross. And now, because I'm tired of talking, let's go hang out with friends who roll dice. Let's do a raid. Raid,
Woo!
raid, raid,
Raid,
raid,
raid,
raid,
raid,
Raid,
raid,
raid.
raid,
The
raid.
raid